There comes a moment in life when you stop needing to prove who you are and start choosing peace instead. It doesn't happen just once or twice in your life. It actually comes up again and again as we go through various seasons and transitions in our life. But here's the truth that I've learned. Peace isn't free. The choices you make and the actions you take towards that peace has a price. It can cost the part of you that still needs to be understood. It has the cost of closing out the old chapters or old versions of the life you once knew or thought you would live. It may even cost the old version of yourself or the relationships you once thought would last forever. For most of my life, I worked hard to prove myself as a mother, as a partner, as a business owner, and a coach. But the harder I tried to be enough, the further I drifted away from me. Because proving isn't power, it's fear in disguise. If you're new here, I'm Kylie Kwan, a self-development life coach and founder of Courage to Course Correct. I help women go from overwhelm to ownership using practical tools and spiritual practices to reflect, reimagine, realign, and reclaim who they are and the life they truly want to live. And like you, I'm still learning every day to stop performing and start being. For years, I didn't realize how much my life was built around proving that I was a good wife and mother during my 20-year marriage, proving that I was a good mom after my divorce, proving that I could rebuild my life from scratch, proving that I could be successful without a partner, proving that I was worthy of just being seen, respected, and loved. And every time I reached a milestone, I thought peace would follow, but it didn't. Because peace doesn't live in performance, it lives in permission. It's the moment you stop explaining your choices and start just trusting yourself, trusting your intuition, and above all, trusting your truth. Here's what I've learned about choosing peace over proving. Proving is rooted in fear. It's the fear of not being enough, of being misunderstood or being unseen. It actually keeps you striving for approval from everything outside of you instead of living authentically and approving of yourself. 2, peace grows from self-trust. When you know who you are, you don't need to defend it. You no longer chase validation because your worth doesn't depend on how others perceive you. And 3rd, reclaiming yourself means letting go of the need to be understood. Sometimes peace means walking away from an argument, not because you're giving up, but because you're finally letting go. Letting go of the version of you who needed to prove herself, the version of you that got you here, but she doesn't have to run the show anymore. When I stopped proving, I found something I never had before: stillness. Not silence, not avoidance, but real grounded stillness. That quiet confidence that doesn't need to convince anyone. Now, when I feel that old urge to explain or defend myself rising up, and let me tell you, it still does, I take a deep breath and I remind myself, everything starts with me, myself, and I. I no longer need to chase validation. I choose peace. That one affirmation shifts everything for me. Here's your reflection for today. Where in your life are you still trying to prove instead of choosing peace? Maybe it's at work, in a relationship, with your family, or even with yourself. Take a moment to pause, breathe, and write about it in your journal. Not to judge yourself, but to meet yourself with honesty and with compassion and with a whole lot of truth. You'll be amazed at how much energy you reclaim when you stop performing and start just being. Choosing peace doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop caring what was never yours to prove. Peace is your homecoming. It's where you return to your truth and finally breathe again, because you don't have to prove who you are anymore. You just have to remember. You just have to reflect, reimagine, realign, and reclaim who you are and the life that you want to be living.